Hi everyone, this is my empirical article presentation for the article Assessing the Difficulty Level of Math Board Games for Young Children. So, the purpose of this study is to examine children's responses to three types of board games: grid, long path, and short path games. And the researchers attempted to answer the following three questions. 1. Is there a significant difference in difficulty between grid, short path, and long path math games based on the structure of the game, even when the same quantities are used for each game? 2. Is there a significant difference between the performance of low-income children versus middle-income children on grid, short path, and long path games? And finally, if a significant difference in difficulty exists among grid, short path, and long path games, what mathematical behaviors indicate that a child is ready to move to a more difficult level of games? The researchers wanted to see if they could find patterns between different subgroups, and those subgroups were socioeconomic status, ethnicity, gender, and language. The methodology used is a mixed method design in which children played a series of math board games with an assessor. The game format was selected to capitalize on children's interest in play and to enhance their motivation and cooperation. The participants were 86 children aged 3 to 5 from urban preschools in the Midwest and the United States. The materials were 3 different board games tested, and each game was played with the same deck of cards so that the number of movements per turn would be the same in each game. This isolates the board as the only variable in the experiment. The procedure was each child played the game with one adult assessor, and that person was to model the game. And based on how the child acted during their turn, the assessor would score them and take qualitative observations. A scoring system for the reactions given by the child was developed based on literature by Kami and Piaget. 1 point was given for global level, 2 points for one-to-one correspondence level, 3 points was given for the counting level with no minor errors, and 4 points was given for counting level with no errors. Grid games were easiest to understand and play. Path games that have a longer, more complex path were significantly more difficult for the pre-K kids than grid games or games with a short, straight path. And this was true over all 4 subgroups. There was a very significant score gap between 3 and 4-year-olds, but not a significant gap between 4 and 5-year-olds. 3-year-olds tended to apply global and one-to-one correspondence strategies, which developmentally precede counting strategies and are not expected. And a large body of research indicates that the use of numerals masks the conceptual mathematical knowledge that children may have constructed. This study did not use numerals so that it could observe the fundamental conceptual knowledge. Implications for practice. Head Start children differed significantly from tuition children only on short path games. At age 3, Head Start children performed significantly lower than tuition children, but at age 4 and 5, they did not perform lower than tuition children. The students performed statistically identical in the subgroups of gender and language. English language learners and native speakers had no statistical difference in any of the game paths. The study suggests that teachers should structure their curriculum so that students have substantial experience with grid and short path games before moving on to longer path games. Children who are able to count small quantities of 1 to 3 objects, but not larger quantities, can begin to tackle short path games. And children who are able to count and represent quantities of 1 to 5 on short path games can be introduced to long path games in the future. So thank you for watching my presentations, and let me know if you have any questions or comments.